Starting the coffee with the K-Bar chopsticks using the Vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level, good morning, welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, coffee. Nice. Ethiopian. This is a gift from my client, Ivan, from Evermore Coffee Roasters. Let's see if I can pronounce this. Ethiopia Guji Dur Ferris. It's a light roast. The notes are berry, jam, cherry blossom, and mango. Okay. Men kill themselves 5 times more than women. 70% of them do it as the result of relationship stressors such as breakups, divorce, separation, things like that. Do people kill themselves as a result of a breakup? No. I just think it might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Many people have created situations for themselves, or they might be in an unfortunate situation. And some people just wear thin after having stress and grief and letdowns in their life. And they just say, I'm done. I know, I've been there many years ago. But I do want to say it's all temporary. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. You know, if I could have been there to talk to my buddy Craig before he shot himself through the heart, I think I would have sat with him, talked to him. I had no idea what was going on. And I know it was a cumulative thing. It wasn't one event in his life. It was just one thing after another that he dealt with privately. Don't privately deal with your issues and then just have one event break the camel's back or make the volcano blow. I will say that my buddy's death had a pretty big impact on me. I can't deny that. I think about him every day. And I think about why he quit. And I went from just incredible sadness to actually anger. Literally anger. Like, why the hell did you have to do that? But for a good couple months, because someone said to me, oh, you're gonna get angry about it. And I said, no, I'm not. And then I got angry about that. I got angry about them telling me I'm going to get angry because I couldn't possibly imagine myself moving from sadness to anger. Interesting, right? Here's a note from a mom. Hi there, I wanted to reach out to thank you for your recent short video about feeling suicidal. My 17-year-old son is going through a breakup and he's really distraught. We've been supportive and keeping him active. Your video was the right message at the right time. Thank you. Or you might be the significant other. You might be the wife, the sister, the mother of somebody who's going through some hard times. Give them hope. Give them hope. How do you do that? Number one, have them talk it out. Everyone seems to hold these things in. I had no idea my friend was even capable of killing himself. I had no idea that he even owned a gun. I had no clue. That was something that we didn't talk about. I talked about it. He never talked about it. He had the single best sense of humor of any human being I've ever known. And little did I know that behind that sense of humor, which was clever and dry, he wasn't overtly knee-slapping funny. It was dry and deadpan, which is the kind of humor that I love. How was I to know that that sense of humor was hiding despair. How would I know that? I don't have any good friends left at all. This was the guy that I did things with. This was the dude that, hey, there's a great band playing here, let's go see him. And we did. He was the guy that I introduced girlfriends and lady friends to. He brought along lady friends every now and then when we went out. We had talks about MGTOW. We had talks about men going their own way, and I know he had gone his own way. I know that. For his own sanity, I think a lot of things he was going through really pushed him to that point, but he didn't have the motivation to suck it up and make some changes. These are just my thoughts. I could be wrong. If you are an associate, a spouse, a friend of someone who you think is at risk of taking their own life, literally, talk to them. In my coaching with men, I only work with men, I don't work with women. I let them know ahead of time at the first session. I say, this is going to seem really weird and not a lot of people have asked you this question, but do you have any thoughts of hurting yourself or of killing yourself? Do you have any passive thoughts? Do you want just the world to go away? Passive thoughts of suicide. And I know they've never been asked that before, most of them. That's probably the former clinician in me. But I want to make sure right from the get, do I need to administer hope? As far as life-giving hope, not just life-enhancing, but life-giving, life-saving hope. If you are not in regular practice of asking people these diagnostic kind of questions, it seems weird at first. I will tell you that. If you are a quote-unquote layperson, but being that I do this for a living, I check people's pulse to see if they want to live or if they want to die. That's the first thing. All of the red pill in the world, all of the coaching in the world means nothing if a person does not want to live. How do you ask somebody if they're suicidal? Ask them. Ask them. It seems weird, doesn't it? We come up with euphemisms for it. Come right out and say, do you want to take your life? Are you suicidal? Are you thinking of ending it all? Do you ever have any thoughts of ending it all? You would be surprised how many people might say, I did at one time, or I did last week, or last Friday night I came pretty close. Don't be afraid to ask people the hard questions. Don't be afraid. Happy Friday, and on a lighter note, but that had to get out of the way. First of all, I need more coffee.
Nice.
This is so good. Thank you, Ivan. Appreciate that. I eat antipasta twice just because she is so nice. Angelina, the waitress at the pizzeria. That's from Louis Prima, 1973. He eats antipasta twice because she is so nice. Men do funny things when it comes to women, don't they? They put themselves in places, they put themselves across a woman's path. It has come to become known as, when it gets pathological, then it's like stalking. Never wait until conditions are ideal before you make a move for business, opportunity, making money, because guess what? The conditions will never be ideal. I'm not talking about starting something because you're impulsive. You hate your job. That's it. I'm going to go out and start my own business. I'm going to buy a business. I'm going to buy a business opportunity or a franchise. Things like that really need some thought. That's where a good coach comes in to help you see things that you don't see because you're unable to see those things. Never wait till conditions are ideal because they never will be. Get out of that rut of a career or bubble bursting, depressing relationship. Many times the people that you're close to, I don't want to say are your enemies, but they're not your friends. You're going to get the most criticism and the most flack from people who claim to love you. You need to be independent from those who love you because that can change like that. You need to be a combination of Lone Ranger, leader, servant, quiet observer, also known as the gray man. If you're in a relationship where you are not getting the support that you need, just remember this: wishing and hoping is not a strategy. It's pure laziness, if you ask me. And literally, it just keeps going. The can gets kicked down the road over and over and over by you thinking, well, maybe they'll come around. Well, maybe they'll come around. Well, maybe they'll come around. They ain't coming around. The love your partner fairy doesn't make house calls anymore. Sorry to break that news to you. You are on your own, and life can change just like that. Why don't you make those changes rather than life surprising you? You have a dream, pursue it part-time. Who says you got to quit everything first? Pursue it part-time. Maybe even secretly until you can execute your plan. Don't share your dreams with people. Maybe a trusted person. I like the idea of sharing things with a coach. My life improved drastically when I was sharing my dreams with people that are close to me. Not a lot happened. Not a lot happened because they change all the time. And I was depending too much on people's approval and their opinions about things. And you know what they say about opinions? Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, and they all stink. Squirrel away your mojo in a secret reserve that only you have access to. Never rely on encouragement from someone who doesn't get it. I love this quote from Saint Philaret of Moscow in Orthodox. Saint, he was a patriarch. He who sufficiently knows and judges himself has no time to judge others. You know anyone like that? Who just judges people all the time? You know anyone like that? They don't know themselves. As a matter of fact, they judge people so much because they're afraid to focus on themselves. Distance yourself from people like that and thank the good Lord if you are separated from them, or make the choice to be separated from them yourself. Life is a funny thing, how that works. When you finally get enough balls to tell someone to go fuck off and never have anything to do with them. You don't get strength by joining a tribe. You get strength by leaving a tribe. A tribe can help orient you like a compass for a short period of time. It is temporary. But but here's the problem with tribes. You can hide in a tribe. You can hide in a movement. You can hide in a cause. Your real strength and success comes from when you walk away from all of that, saying, okay, it served its purpose. Your success will come, not from the tribe, but when the tribe has fulfilled its purpose and you walk away from the tribe. Everyone I know who walked away from a movement of any type, I don't give a shit what it is, has become a success. Because they hid in that movement, that social movement or that cause, and got their identity from it. Break away and succeed. This was something that I came up with this week. The course that I'm just putting together. I call it the Divorce Recovery Masterclass course. It's going to include one-to-one phone session with me. A lot of people, a lot of content creators, they create these courses. Somebody spends money and then they're on their own. And then they don't know how to, I mean, have you ever purchased a course and then not implement it? Can you imagine buying a course and then having a one-to-one consultation with the course creator on how to implement those strategies? I decided that the course that I'm creating, the Divorce Recovery Masterclass, will include a one-to-one session with me to make sure you get off to a good start. I'm pretty happy about that because I've purchased things that I still have on my hard drive that I haven't implemented, that I haven't executed yet. Remember, complexity is the enemy of execution. You're overthinking everything. Anyone here still on Twitler? Adolf Twitler? Now that I've been off, I think I came off of Twitter in January, and I haven't been able to access it because I'm banned. I forget how many followers I had, but I got banned off of Twitter. I feel better. Is there a correlation between not being on that form of social media and feeling better? I think so. You ever notice the most bitchy men in the world are like really into social media? They're almost like women. They're like the worst kind of woman. When men become women, they become worse than the worst kind of woman. Don't let your goal or vision fade away just because you ran into a few obstacles. I love the whole concept of multiple streams of everything. One is the most dangerous number. One, relying on one form of income, one stream of income. Relying on one stream of encouragement or motivation in your life. Where do you get your motivation from? Where do you get your money from? Where do you get your love from? Well, the whole concept of spinning plates. Like, you don't need to be loving 7 women. Someone said to me the other night on a live stream, I have a really bad case of one-itis. What is the cure for one-itis? Instantly, I responded, 4-itis, 5-itis. But make sure you are one of those people, one of those plates. A chick flakes out on you. Guess what? You get to spend time reading a book, having a glass of bourbon, having a cigar, having a pipe. Just make sure that you are one of the options that you have for this weekend. I can go out with Mary, I can go out with Chrissy, I can go out with Sue, or I can just hang out with myself. You are an option that you need to be happy about. Don't be sad that you are an option. Create options for yourself. One of the reasons why you're depressed is because you don't have options. I'd rather see you have anxiety because you have so many options and you don't know which one to choose. Whatever happened to pure entertainment? Just like going to a movie that's entertaining. I'm looking at movie previews, trailers, and one of the reasons why I love indie films, independent films, for those of you, when I say an indie film, that means an independent film that's not produced by Hollywood, has private funding, and doesn't have the influence of Hollywood and the liberal whack jobs. But I'm noticing that independent films are now about agendas. Agendas. They're no longer just telling a story anymore. It's no longer about escapism or idealism or feel-good or rom-coms, romantic comedies, or good overcoming evil or good old-fashioned storytelling. It's like the news. It's trying to persuade you. So be careful of what you put in your mind. A lot of independent film makers make great films at first. Then they let their agenda start bleeding through, and you feel like they're trying to convince you of something or make something look normal. You get what I'm saying? They're trying to make certain things look normal, and they're not. That's the deception of the arts, is that art literally communicates beauty. Art should, I think, make you feel good. When I go to a museum, I feel good. I enjoy. I don't want to feel like I'm being convinced of something when I look at art, when I look at a film, when I read a book. You know, there's so many good detective novels out there. I was talking with somebody about this, and they just had to have a certain character with an alternative lifestyle. And you know that was just thrown in there for modernity purposes, to influence you, to make you think that it's normal. It's not fucking normal. But the repetition, like the waves coming in at the beach, over and over and over, your brain doesn't know any different. Eventually you think certain things are going to be normal, and they're not. This is why I have to go back in time when I want to watch a good movie, read a good book, listen to music, because crap that's coming out today is trying to change you, it's trying to persuade you, it's trying to move you. It's like the news. I used to say, when did the news just become opinions rather than facts? I call the news the fear delivery system. I stopped watching the news and eventually stopped watching television. One of the best things that ever happened to me was unplugging from the bullshit. So there are those now that are offended by gender reveal announcements. You know, the traditional, it's a boy, it's a girl kind of thing. Why? Because they say, how dare we as parents determine the gender of a child before they themselves have a chance to choose what they want? Unbelievable. Contrary to popular opinion, women weren't created to do everything a man can do. Actually, they were created to do things that men can't do. Complement each other. Think about how women were created. If you're a Christian, think about the story of creation, the account of creation. Why was a woman created? Why? Complementary relationships are the way of nature, not just with humans, but nature in general. Everyone serves a purpose, but that purpose is not to make other people's dreams come true. You have to make your own dreams come true. The fear of non-men in women is alive and well. Dude, you don't want to fear male. Well, actually, that's what I call females now, fear males. Because most women live in fear unless they're awakened. If a woman is woke, stay away from her. If she's awakened, she might be a blessing in your life. Next thing you know, gentlemen, you'll be sleeping on the sofa until you get a shot in the arm, until you roll up your sleeve. I'll tell you what is more preferable than to being with a woke female. A bottle of hand lotion. What a great day to make a change in your life. And with that, finish your coffee. And I'll see you, well, if you're on Patreon, you'll see the Daybreak Show on a regular basis. If you're not on Patreon, I'll see you next Friday. The Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason.
Inspired. Do something about your life.
Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other. So far as the echo, where do we start? You can learn to discover a million stars. Here in the shadows, I know you're scared. Take my hand, together we'll make a stand. We've got to fight to find a way. Dare to fall to find out what to say. No more hate. Just admit that you're just afraid. Time to let go of all your fears and pride. Stand up beside me, don't you hide. We can build a come together, lift your spirit for the cause. We should be equal, should be living free. All together, one and all, let's build a dream. No more hate. Just admit that you're